So the last of the four opens is the open auction. Now, as the name suggests, the market opens and it merely begins to auction between buyers and sellers. Now, firstly, let's look at the graphic depiction. As you can see, this is an open where we kind of open, we move up, we move down, we move up, we move down, and trade is facilitated in a relatively narrow band between buyers and sellers. So very little conviction in terms of where prices are going. Now, in the example, in the in the volume profile provided, you can kind of see that the market opens and it straight away, with that dark blue line, you can see it just settles into sort of a very balanced type open play. So note, no conviction at all with this open play. We tend to open and trade both above and below the opening price. We tend to see this open play particularly when we open in a very balanced manner within the previous day's value area. So straight away, if you see the market opening, within the previous day's value in the markets that are quite symmetrical, there's a high probability you're going to get this open auction where we trade above and below the open for the first hour or couple of hours of trade. Note, the question to ask is, where does this open occur? More often than not, you will see this open in a balanced type open. However, sometimes we can see this when we open completely out of balance. And the reason for this is that when we open out of balance, we get a lot of people being dragged in, or a lot of other time frame participants being dragged in at these much higher or much lower prices, resulting in a lot of two-way auctioning between buyers and sellers. So note again, when we're in balance, it's likely to stay that way for some period of time with minimal conviction. So straight away, you got to say to yourself, bang, if the market opens and we're opening well within balance and we see quite a lot of two-way trade, we can take on strategies looking to extend above and below the opening price. Equally, if we open out of balance, we can see the same sort of open, just with a little bit more volatility, and again trading both above and below the opening price. So that is pretty much our open auction. And note, it's important when thinking and talking about the open, open auction type trade, we want to be talking about it in terms of, is it within balance or out of balance, as this will determine, how we take on the trade and the approach we use to take on the open auction trade.